Good evening, everybody. This is your host and co-host from the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. I got Reek with me on this side. I'm Huge Pop, and we're not having an interview tonight. We are going to talk about the world title, the intercontinental title, the United States Championship title, and the big announcement about the tag team titles. We've seen that on Raw. We're getting ready to close to Mania. And we're just going to talk about, not just necessarily what we talk about Raw tonight. We're going to talk about the titles and what are at stake at these titles and who holds those titles and what's been going on in the wrestling world wrapped around those titles. So thank you, Rico, for jumping on. It's a Pops World Order tonight, and there's some stuff to talk about. We might not make it an hour. We might make it an hour and 5 minutes, but we'll see. We'll try to keep it within an hour, and so everybody's happy. Go ahead, Rico.
I mean, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? I want to get that. Well, I know, I listened to Busted Open, and I know we're talking about these titles, but I want to briefly talk about what Cody Rhodes said on Monday Night Raw. Not about what he said, but about the behavior that he expressed by talking about things that he's talked about. And Bully Ray said it well. We've seen we've seen signs of tears before, but he broke down finally last night. And it was a turning point, according to Bully Ray, it was a turning point for this Cody Rhodes finishing the story. It's finally, after that slap on Friday night, it's finally got to the point where Cody Rhodes is becoming emotional, and it's family now. It's about family now, and he broke down last night talking about his mom and all this stuff, and I hope that's a sign of him growing a set and finally making it. You know what I'm saying? That makes any sense. But man, they talked about for hours about him finally expressing and showing some emotions. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, because, it's what's been talked about quite a bit is Cody just kind of always holding back and not really, which don't get me wrong, Cody's phenomenal. Been doing great. But they're saying he needs to drop that set and just go at him.
Yeah.
Let his emotions out and just, dig down deep.
Right. Because I think if he holds on to those emotions too much, it's going to be the worst. It's going to be the worst thing for him. He needs to get it out. He needs to start going after it. So, but that was pretty cool last night to see that. And what Bully Ray said this afternoon about finally he's showing some tears. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But, so let's talk about Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. He's going to Mania. I don't know. Do we know who he's facing finally?
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
It is because Drew won the Elimination Chamber.
Yep. By the way, he got kicked off of Raw last night. I can't wait for that match. Seth, he's held this title right now. I got the record's 290 days. I mean, it's interesting. I'd love to see who all, has held that title. That title has been, just him. So we're going to get another person to do that. Is Seth Rollins going to get beat at WrestleMania?
I have two situations that are going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Both of them involve Seth losing. Seth, you're my boy, man. That's my number one, my numero uno. But both situations, I see him losing. He either loses to Drew McIntyre or what I see them having Drew winning. I really do. But if he doesn't win, I see Seth winning, Senior Money in the Bank cashing in and taking it.
Okay.
So that way he actually still loses the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I have that kind of, but I don't have Senior Money in the Bank doing that title. I don't see him. No.
You seen him going after the big dog over?
Nope. Mm-mm. Unfortunately, no, I don't. I see him going after Logan Paul's title after Logan Paul gets beat. I'll explain the reason why I think that'll happen. But I think he's going to get beat. I think Seth will lose the title. He's hurt. he needs some time away.
Legitimately, he really does.
He does, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you see AJ Styles getting involved somehow, setting up a SummerSlam or something with starting the story with Drew McIntyre and Seth and AJ Styles. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be okay
But
with that.
I don't know because if I remember, isn't AJ going to be going against LA Knight? He's got
That's
his
true.
own problems to deal with LA Knight.
That's true. I mean, I get that. I mean, you might be right. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Seth is gonna, yeah, it's gonna be a match, but he is gonna lose. I do agree with you, man. He's gonna lose. But Drew McIntyre, this is what happened. They opened the show. He came down. They had some words. I think McIntyre said this: "We have a future world heavyweight champion, Drew McIntyre. We can actually invest in." The Scottish Warriors said of the Rock and the WWE hierarchy views him. He just bashed the Rock. He had some good impressions. Yeah. So Seth Rollins said at the very bottom, the thing I'm worried about is about least is Drew McIntyre. He's not scared. I mean, that's gonna be cool to see Seth involved in so much at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not. Yeah, I just don't see him winning. He's not going to win that. Drew McIntyre is, and Drew deserves it. He does.
At that point right there where Seth just said that, where I'm the least worried about Drew McIntyre, Drew is someone to be worried about.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yes, Seth has beaten him, but now you have a more cynical Drew McIntyre that just doesn't care.
No.
And this heel Drew McIntyre as champion will be something fun to see.
He is something else. I'm glad he's a heel.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome to see him turn heel on that. It was good. He's good. He's a good heel, and he's going to be good at it. And he deserves it. Bottom line, he deserves the title.
Well, if you remember, look back when he first got brought out, and as the chosen one, he was a heel. Then he didn't really. They didn't know what to do with him. He didn't know who he was, so he did the 3-man band, and was becoming a face or became a face.
Yep.
When he returned, he was with Ziggler as his bodyguard.
Yes.
And freaking just huge and sweet, but he was a heel.
Yes.
And then he turned on him, came over as a face.
Yep. It's gonna be good. It really is. Not much to talk. There's not a history of the behind the title Seth holds because, like I said, he's the one first holder. He's held it for 290 days. I think you're going to see a lot of this now. We're always going to hear about the records now. How many days Gunther has it? How many days Seth Rollins had it? It's to me it's going to be a thing now, and I think sometimes that thing it could be annoying, and I get it. That's why I think everybody's so up in arms about the WrestleMania moment with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. If they didn't have this record, who would care? I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. It would be just okay. But that's where I'm lost with the record that Reigns has. But we're not talking about him tonight. So, I'm not going to leave the women out. We got Rhea Ripley at Mania.
Yes.
Putting up her title against I think Becky Lynch.
Yes.
That's going to be a banger.
Oh man! Oh wow! It's that one right there. It's hard for me to even say just because you got Rhea Ripley, you got Becky Lynch, the man, mommy. It's a toss up because they're either way. Whoever wins that, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome match. Yeah. Regardless, like I don't even care who wins. Honestly, it's going to be a great match. Yeah. Personally, I'd like Rhea Ripley to keep that.
Really?
Personally.
Okay. Now, see, I'm on the opposite side. I mean, to me, the Judgment Day, aside from Dom Dom, is getting stale for me. I would love for Rhea Ripley to keep the title for one reason. That's your girl, Jade Cargill. I think put those two women in a SummerSlam match is recreating Hogan, Andre the Giant in a female match. You know what I'm saying? I think that would blow the roof off things. That is more realistic to me, in my opinion, because of the sizes of these two massive women.
Yep, they pack a punch. Both of them do, and that would be, man, that match would be off the charts right there.
Right.
It really would be.
Right. And no disrespect to Becky Lynch at all.
No.
But we talked about this last night. Guys that don't need a title. Randy Orton doesn't need a title. Let's face it. Really, does Becky Lynch really need that title?
No. Becky can carry herself without a title. She's shown it in and out. Is she good with the title? Yeah, it's Becky. It's the man. But she doesn't need it.
No, not at all.
And for me, the reason why I say Rhea go over is because that will help kind of just show her dominance in the women's division.
Right.
You know, who can take like a Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
Is there anybody who can take me out?
Right. You know, and I think that if you build that up and no one can take me out, and you build that into SummerSlam and start some kind of story bringing Jade Cargill in as the person that could take her out. Because not to say that Becky Lynch is old, but she's not as young as Rhea Ripley or Cargill either. You know,
the only thing that bothers me about that one is, you know, you got Rhea on Raw or Jade on SmackDown.
Right.
So you would need a Raw girl. And who do we have on Raw? A female superstar to challenge Rhea.
Right.
Besides Becky.
That's it.
You got Liv.
Yep. Now that's what happened last night on Raw. They had Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan have a match, and of course Becky Lynch beat her. And great match, great segment. And then Rhea Ripley comes down, and they have that WrestleMania stare down, and they talk crap at each other. You know, but I am a fan. I am a fan of Becky Lynch. I really am. I like her, but I just don't say she's held the title. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. I think I'll be on the safe side as you will. As of right now, and unless something changes, Rhea Ripley should hold that belt one more pay-per-view.
So. No, and it now you just got me thinking. I'm trying to figure out, is there anyone who's there or who could possibly come back to dethrone her? And anybody listening, throw it in the comments what your thoughts on that one, because I'm very curious.
I mean,
check that real quick.
I mean, Shayna Baszler could. That's realistic.
Yeah, Baszler, I feel is underrated.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean,
look how long she held that NXT Women's Championship.
What about Zoe Stark?
Oh, Zoe's an upper comer, man.
She is. I mean, let me see. I would say Zoe Stark. I say Shayna. But that's about it. You know, Liv Morgan. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Like, let me just read them off here because now I got the list in front of me. I was waiting for it to come up. So you got Becky Lynch, you got Candice LeRae, you got Chelsea Green, you got Indy Hartwell, you got Ivy Nile, she's just a reporter. Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Liv Morgan, Natalia, Maxine Dupree, Nia Jax, Nikki Cross if she ever comes back.
God, I hate that girl.
You hate that girl?
Man.
I just think like she could have done so much more.
And again, it's not her fault, right? The writers, in my opinion, given Nikki Cross those stupid gimmicks. And then with Nia Jax, they have. I mean, I don't want to make shockwaves, but that both of them need to go back in the indie scene and do whatever they can do on the indie scene.
Yeah, a little bit better.
I think so. Especially Nia Jax. She hurts too many people. She need to go back to a training facility and train right and learn right.
Yeah, we don't, and it's nothing against Nia. I'm not dogging
No,
her. I think she's great, but it's like I said, because we're not in the ring. This is just what we've heard.
right.
So,
Yep.
but we just don't want another like. And when I say Goldberg, I ain't dogging Goldberg, but
No,
instances where other wrestlers have said, no, he was dangerous to work with.
right. And I heard somebody say on a podcast, you talk about Goldberg, Ryback. I think Ryback said this actually on his podcast. All Goldberg was a freak show, and he didn't know how to wrestle. His segments were 2.5 minutes long, and he's done. You come in, you blow smoke, you spear somebody, 1, 2, 3, you leave.
Mm-hmm.
He can't wrestle. I don't remember a match that he wrestled.
I think the most I saw him do was a couple suplexes, a couple punches, had him in a turnbuckle, did a couple shoulder rams, and then did the spear and jackhammer. That was it.
That's it. And that's to me, that's on Nia Jax. Back him up to the ring corner, come back and give her that butt, whatever that thing's called. Give that smash, give her a suplex, maybe get on top of the second rope and come down on the whatever. Hit him 1, 2, 3, done. It's not her fault. It's how they book and how they write big people like that. Look at Andre the Giant back in the day. He couldn't wrestle. He would do those massive chops.
Yeah, massive.
Put somebody like this, strangle him, throw him to the ground, put his foot on top of him. 1, 2, 3, done. And I'm not saying nothing about big wrestlers. There's a place for them.
And so we're talking about the female roster. There's one name, and I'm speaking WWE. Listen to me, please. I'm not a smart man, but I'm just very much suggesting this. Put Xia Li in some kind of title match. I promise you won't be wrong with it.
She's off at NXT, isn't
she? She was on Raw. Like, she went back to NXT, and I believe she was supposed to be going back, but there's someone who was in NXT, shows you what she could do, gets moved up, and another one where they didn't do anything with her.
Right.
And she's good. She's actually good.
We talk about that all the time, man, about people, their roster being so flooded. Do you think that there's too many on the roster? And is that why it seems like at times they're throwing together stuff on Raw so they could give their roster TV time? Do you think it's a hindrance that they have so many people on that roster?
It's kind of it's almost what I look at like a 50-50, man, where half the percent of the time it does go against them. Like, they have too many people. But then the other half, it's now you got, your tag teams and stuff you're trying to fill up. So you do need the people.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If people, injuries start to happen, now you have someone for that backup.
Right.
So it's,
right.
But yeah, sometimes it does feel like there are too many people.
Gotcha. So, Gunther, however you say his name. Gunther. I used to hate him, but now you gotta like him because he is so freaking good.
Yes. Gunther is over, and he's over as pretty much like it. I don't want to compare it to him. I'll just leave it at Gunther is over, and he's doing phenomenal right now.
Absolutely. Dread Tyler, welcome back to the show, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Dread Tyler, he says, I have returned. Yes, you have. I feel terrible for Xia Li. Yes, we were just talking about that. She's very talented, and they don't seem to know what to do with her. Maybe return her to NXT. We were just saying that exact same thing. There's so many people on that roster that what do you do with them all? Like a Nia Jax, like a Shayna Baszler. You got to give these girls some title shots sometime. What do you think? Dr. Red Tyler. I'm sorry, man. Dr. Red Tyler. There you go, my friend. Got to give you the proper introduction. Got to get that right. I think you're coming on the show. I think he's coming on the show March 26th. I better get that right.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, Dr. Red Tyler, what do you think? Do you think there's too many people on the roster? Is that why we have this? Why we are discussing what do we do with these people? But Gunther.
So, because like I said, I didn't really get to watch a lot of it, but Sami Zayn, from what I heard, won that gauntlet.
Yeah. He was in there with Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Shinsuke Nakamura, JD McDuff, whatever it is, McDonough. And for whatever reason, people are mad about this, but Sami Zayn won that match.
Because everybody wanted Chad Gable to win.
Right. And all of what they won the match. And I get it, the cheesy endings, or is the ending of this, you got to go back and watch this ending. Ridiculously stupid. I mean, in my opinion, Chad Gable was he was getting over, and then Sami Zayn won by a baby roll up. And there you go. He won it by a baby roll up, and he's going into WrestleMania to face Gunther.
Yo, I'm gonna steal a line from Booker T. This is the Chucky quack quack moment right here.
Yes.
I think wholeheartedly Sammy's going to dethrone him.
Really?
They're going to. I'm throwing that out there. I know everybody's going to say I'm crazy for saying that, but I'm throwing it out there.
Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, this question just came to my head. People are going to go rampant when Cody Rhodes loses, right?
He's not going to lose.
Are they going to piss up other people off when they come to this Gunther Sami Zayn match and Sami Zayn wins? Because there's a ton of Gunther lovers out there.
Mm-hmm. But you brought up something earlier. Because you said something about how Senior Money in the Bank was not so interested in Seth's title. He has been interested in Gunther. Yes. He has shown that.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'm throwing it out there, Sammy. I think Sammy's. If for some reason Sammy doesn't win, there's my other outcome. Senior Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I agree, man. Only if Gunther needs some downtime, he would regain it and become a 2-time champion. Yeah, I get that. And for that, I'm like, I don't know. I hate it. Take it off him 2 months later, he comes back and wins it again. Now he's 2-time champion. I mean, okay. You might as well just gave the title to him and done a Roman Reigns for him and appear just on, you know what I'm saying? But
if when we see people re-win a title, we're so excited for them, though.
That's true. They
come back and you're like, yeah.
I will say this, man, Rico, Dr. Red. I will say this: Senior Money in the Bank needs to cash in. Okay, this is the one big problem I have with Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank was a year ago. Boring. I mean, come on, cash in.
But here's the point about that, though. This is one thing I do like about it. It's at any given time. It doesn't need to be rushed. Now he has to do it before Money in the Bank again.
Sure.
But it's not to be rushed. So there's where he could take his sweet time, pick his moment.
I get it.
And I think it just makes it more awesome because now it could be WrestleMania, it could be the Raw after WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes when WrestleMania, then we're getting the Raw. Yeah. But I agree that the scenarios of Senior Money in the Bank cashing in are he's not going to be involved in this Cody Rhodes Rock story. That'd be
Nope.
so stupid. That'd be the dumbest.
No,
It's got to be Seth Rollins' title. It's got to be Gunther's title or Logan Paul's title. One of those three have to be where he cashes in. And unfortunately, the most important one would be Seth. But unless everybody agrees with Cody Rhodes being a paper champion or whatever, or whoever said that. But I don't know.
Just imagine this, though. And this is why I think about this. And Dr. Ray can think about this too, man. Freaking Drew McIntyre finally defeats Seth. He becomes world champion. He's having his moment. Senior cashes in, takes him out, takes it right then and there. And that would just, it would build up a very good storyline with him and Drew. And the not bloodline, but the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Because he's already had beef with them.
Yeah.
But same thing with Gunther, though. That could it could go both ways.
Right.
But I need him to ruin somebody's night.
He has more beef with Drew, doesn't he? Than
yeah.
I think he has more beef with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And that would piss Drew off if he wins the title for 30 seconds and he gets beat.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Drew's on his way out.
No, it would remind me of whatchamacallit, Yokozuna and Hogan.
Yeah.
When he won it, and then Hogan just beats him right back for it.
Yeah, who's Seth Rollins? Yes. Seth Rollins. He's hurt. He needs some time away. I don't know. So we'll see. So Intercontinental title, Gunther, you think he's going to lose it, huh? To Sami Zayn. I mean, the fans would love that.
Because here's the thing. They may have been upset, and I get it, because I was behind Chad Gable. I thought he legitimately would be the one to dethrone Gunther.
Right.
Just because they were pushing and everybody was behind him. It was another Daniel Bryan moment, Cody Rhodes moment. But, didn't pull the trigger. He lost. And everybody's still been behind Sammy. So at WrestleMania, if he ends up defeating him, you will watch the crowd go crazy.
Right. Yeah. Drew beats Seth. I can see that. Kind of put a title on Drew. Absolutely, the heel. He's a great heel. We were talking about earlier before he came on, Dr. Red, that Drew being a heel is phenomenal. Drew being a heel is just great, So I think that'd be great. I think he'd be and I think
that better as a heel.
That gives Seth some time off, and the same scenario. Seth has a few months off. He comes back at Survivors or maybe SummerSlam, back in the title picture. Maybe go after Cody Rhodes if Cody Rhodes wins that belt. And that's the sad part, because if Cody Rhodes wins that belt, very likely he won't make it a year holding that belt.
We don't know that. I know it's more like, but I'm just saying, like the way things go,
but
I don't know that.
But give Seth a chance to come back and put people over, because he's good at that.
Oh, no, it just popped up.
What?
Okay. Drew ends up beating Seth, and Sammy ends up beating Gunther. Gunther is off for, a couple weeks, tops. He's not leaving. He's just off for a couple weeks. Comes back. Now he's going after Drew for the world title.
Sammy?
No, Gunther.
Oh, Gunther, yeah. And he deserves a bigger title.
That
That
would
might
be a
be
match.
that might be. All right, Dr. Red, yes. Thank you so much, man. Roman Reigns does not lose the title until he defeats Bob Backlund's record. I don't know how long that will take.
Sorry, I got to disagree with you guys. I'm the disagreeer.
Throw up the ones, Dr. Red. Throw the ones up. That's
Hey, I
right.
love the one, man. We the ones. But I'm sorry. Cody Crybabies is taking over on this one.
Time to finish the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, Women's Tag Team Championship. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark went against the Kabuki Warriors. Though that team, the Kabuki Warriors, man, that team's a different breed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They're
want
a
to
force.
talk about gimmicks? They got
Oh, yeah.
gimmicks in the women's division. I mean, yeah.
Not to skip that, we'll come back to them. I just because while it's at the top of my head, we got to talk about the women's title, Io Sky and Bailey.
Yes.
The
You
WWE.
want Reigns to be the longest all-time champion to defeat Backlund's San Martino on Hogan's record. I say that. I agree, Dr. Red. I say that, Dr. Red. But I think that's what WWE is going for. I think that's what they're going to shoot for. How long they can keep this story, the bloodline story, going is going to be the problem. Because I think San Martino's record is like 2,300 and some days. And that's like 6 years from now. And I don't think people can handle Roman Reigns as a champion for the next 6 years. I mean, the only way he can beat that record is if they split that Universal title up. And he can keep his title that is the record, and Cody Rhodes can go away with his little red title back to Raw.
Yeah, the only way that could really happen is if he literally wrestles one time a year. Literally one time a year.
Right.
WrestleMania, and that's it.
Yeah, I just don't see that's feasible. I don't see I think that's what they want to do, but I just don't see there's no way to do it. I don't see it. I want it to happen because I'm a Roman Reigns guy. I think but I don't know.
Oh, we're talking about the Bailey and Io Sky.
Bailey and Io Sky, yes.
I'm gonna throw this out there.
What's up?
So, because we know Damage Control, you got what? The Kabuki Warriors, and then you got Dakota Kai, and you got Io Sky. Well, Bailey's all by herself. But did you happen to notice how Naomi was like, I feel bad for her, I really do. And Bianca was like, no, she brought this on herself. And Naomi goes, no, I really feel bad for her. I have a feeling Naomi's going to back her up.
You think so?
And then we're going to hear Sasha Banks going to come out.
That might be.
Sasha Banks come out and help them out because she has the best relationship with Bailey. Everybody knows that.
Right.
Who other to come help her than one of her bestest friends?
Now, do you see they're helping her? And this is typical pay-per-view action. Bailey is getting beat down by Io Sky. Bailey's, we want Bailey to win. Everybody's rooting for Bailey. Bailey gets some help. Bailey comes up with the win somehow, some way. You bring those two other girls in the ring. They're all, high-fiving each other, hugging it out. And all of a sudden, we got a heel turn, and they lay her out, setting up a story now with Bailey and those two. Some kind of feud. Or is that too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon?
Because you remember how it was when Sasha came back after being hurt, and she was a face. Remember, and she came back, and Natalya was right after her dad, and
yeah,
she was in the ring talking, and Bailey gives her a hug and then clocks her.
Yeah.
I think it'd be too soon. That's just too soon.
And actually, Dr. Red had a question. He says, "So do we think Io Sky retains?" I'm actually not sure. I hope to God not. I've been wanting Bailey to have a title since she came down that aisle at SummerSlam of last year with Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
She needs a title. She is gold on the mic. She is gold in the ring. Give her the title she deserves.
Yep. Nope. I go with Io loses.
I go with the others. Now, Io Sky's she's great. But let's get that out of the way. Let's get Bailey a title. Let's start some kind of feud with her and Asuka. I mean, Asuka's phenomenal. There's so many good women's wrestlers on the Raw roster that could, it'd be so good. So,
No. And then you had the Logan Paul U.S. title.
Sasha, okay, back to the girls. If Sasha returns, then Bailey and Sasha sets up on it for a tag team run again.
I mean, possibly, but if you look at it, Sasha and Naomi technically never lost the titles. They just walked away.
True.
So they could go at it again. While Bailey is the women's champion, those two go after the women's tag team titles.
So we have a women's Judgment Day or a women's bloodline. You have Bailey and you have Sasha Banks and Naomi all together as a team. Another Damage Control. That'd be cool.
Yep. I could see that right there.
Maybe they return together, defeat Kabuki Warriors. That's possible too. But Logan Paul.
Man, I hate to say it. My man's got a mouth, but he can back it up.
He can.
He really can.
I mean, I can't say he's a bad wrestler. He's not. He knows what he's doing. But I think his time's ran out. I really do. I think I don't know who he's going to go up against. It looks like they're setting it up unless they do something different with Randy Orton. And we talked about that yesterday. I think you said it. Does Randy Orton really need to win?
Yeah.
Why not one last title run? I don't know. I just hope they don't make that title a joke. I do believe that KSI will be involved in that match somehow. And I think it's going to backfire. I think what is going to happen possibly, those brass knuckles will be supposedly those brass knuckles will be used. I think Logan time is over. Logan Paul is hot right now. I say he retains. Randy Orton is the main eventer. He doesn't need a title. He doesn't need a title. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Logan Paul needs a title, to be honest with you. Whether he has a title or he doesn't, what he does for the business with himself by himself in prime, they could take that title away from him and he'd be still gold. He'd still be draw butts and seats. People are going to come and see him, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm not sure about that.
I think his opponent will be Randy Orton just because, the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
Plus the run-ins they've had with each other on SmackDown. So it's going to be Randy, but like we said, Randy doesn't need a title to shine.
Yeah.
They're going to have Logan win.
I mean, Dr. Red, I think he will stay, but does he need that? Does Logan Paul need that title to stay? No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he's not relevant. Maybe he's not relevant like his brother is when his brother gets his ass kicked by Mike Tyson in a couple of weeks.
Remind you, will be 58 when he fights him.
That boy's gonna beat the piss out of Jake Paul. I hate to say it, Jake Paul, but you better be canceling that fight as fast as you can. Because there's no way. There's no way he's gonna win that fight. No way is Paul gonna win that fight. Absolutely not.
Jake Paul will. I'm sorry, man. I've seen him fight, and he does pretty good. But once again, I don't care if Tyson's 70 years old. It's Tyson.
He's a bad dude. So, but yeah, United States champ Paul. It would not bother me either way. I just hope it's not a stupid match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope they don't ruin the biggest WrestleMania with a couple dumb matches. Is all I'm saying.
Well, we got to remember, man. Not every match is going to be here.
Yeah, you're
We're
right.
going to have a couple here, and you may have one or two down here.
Right.
It just depends on, and Paul, Triple H is smart about that, and he knows that. So he'll put the, let's get the crowd going. Get the crowd going. Okay, this match is going to get down. We're going to put this huge match right after to get the crowd back up.
Right. Yeah. And then last night, man, Raw made a big announcement. Huge. When I heard this announcement, I'm like, oh, crap. This is big enough where this match to me sounds freaking off the charts. And I hope it doesn't overshadow the big match, a couple big matches. If this match happens, there's going to be a lot of big matches in that WrestleMania that it's going to be one, probably it should be titled the best WrestleMania ever. But Nick Aldis and what's his name?
Oh, you're talking about Raw. Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis made a big announcement last night on Raw that they are having a 6-pack tag team ladder match. Ladder match. 6-pack tag team. So
what does that remind you of?
Does that remind me of? Didn't the Hardy's boys have one with the Dudleys and
Dudleys and the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Yes. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The tag team title belts held up and the seal up in the rafters of WCW. Yes. All this is amazing to me. If they do this correctly, it's going to be hard to beat this match. It's going to be this should be one of the best matches of the night. I don't know if they'll put it on night one, because see, that's where do you put that match? Hey, friends of the Square Circle, how you doing?
It's got to be night one. It has to. Just because you've got Seth against Drew on night 2. And then you've got Roman against Cody on night 2. Like Jimmy and Jay, I believe that's going to be night 1.
Yes. Unfortunately, I think you're going to get Jimmy and Jay as a match 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I don't know. It's going to be big. But anyways, it's a 6-pack tag team match. And it's, of course, our tag team champions, Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And didn't you read me off a list? Who's going to be in that? I don't think they named the people in that.
I didn't see. I was just going off my top here, just kind of thinking, you would. Well, if both of them are putting it together, Nick Aldis, that's SmackDown and Raw. You're going to have DIY. That's one.
Right.
More than likely, you'll have Imperium.
Right.
Street Profits. Because both are getting involved in this. Actually, I believe it was R-Truth and Miz's idea. So the Awesome Truth, that would be 4. And you got one more team.
I mean, do you put did you say the Street Profits?
Yes. I said Street Profits. Ooh. Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain, yeah.
They could be in there too.
Street Profits, Authors of Pain. You have, yeah.
There's so many that could be in there, but sorry, I was reading
Huge Pop, but you're more than welcome to check our page out and chat with us. Yes, I will do that, man. Thanks for coming on chat. I will be for sure trying to check out your podcast too. Friends of the Squared Circle, great podcast. Thanks for your always support. I appreciate the Creed brothers. Yes, the Creed brothers.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's a good one right there.
Yes.
Oh.
Dr. Reg from WXW. Thank you for being on the show, on the chat. I appreciate you. He's on our show on March 26th. Can't wait to hear stories about that. But yeah. The tag team title match is gonna be a banger. I have a feeling that's gonna be one hell of a match.
Ladder match, especially, man. Tag team ladder match is always great.
Yes. So CCW, FEW, WXW champs 7 and more. Yeah, I can't wait to hear your stories, Dr. Red. Can't wait to hear them, man. So that's the tag team. That's United States champion and the Intercontinental champion Seth Rollins world title. Want to show for an NWA Florida. That's awesome, man. I can't wait. So I was talking to Rico before the show, and I guess we got a few minutes. I guess, do we want to talk about and re-talk about and talk about and re-talk about the big one? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to see the Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. So if I'm honest with you, just to be done with it, and let's move on. I'm not going to root for Cody Rhodes, but if that happens, it happens. If he wins, it wins. But Bully Ray said it today on Busted Open. Finally, Cody Rhodes showed emotions. And that's what we need in this story to finish the story. The emotions. Because for months and months and months, he comes out with that stupid same line. What do you want to talk about? And great, cool, great, cool. But it doesn't mean nothing just to win. It's not about winning it for his dad. Nope. It's about winning it for the family. This whole thing, and I think Bully Ray said it, or the other guy in Busted Open said it. This whole thing from the beginning of the bloodline, even the beginning of the bloodline, and the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and everything, all this stuff, and then Cody Rhodes. If you remember, if the main topic is about revolves around family.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I mean, face it. Cody Rhodes is trying to get the title his dad never got.
Yep.
My brother came up with it. Was it my brother? Maybe it was you. I don't know. So maybe I seen it on TikTok. Somebody comes up with it. It was TikTok. What about this? Cody Rhodes has Roman Reigns on the ropes. Roman Reigns is going to get beat. Everybody knows. Everybody's cheering. All of a sudden, shing, gold dust. He comes down, and he costs his brother the match.
Nah.
That would be the dumbest way to end it, but
nope.
If I see that, I'd be so mad. But
if anything, Dustin would help his brother. And speaking of him, I know we only got a couple minutes, man, but I'm just going to end it with Cody's going to win. Hands down, he's winning. Taking the title, that's it. But are we going to see Dustin get inducted into the Hall of Fame?
He deserves it. I mean, he really does. At some point, Cody does have to finish the story. Yes. By the way, I am also expecting
Dustin. Because it's family.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of things happen. Because you know what? I mean, as much as we can sit here and hate on Roman Reigns, WWE has done an amazing job with stories.
Mm-hmm.
that group, Survivor Series in that, and that big Survivor. They told a story. I do not have any everything ever since the media thing with in Saudi Arabia told a story. You got a bunch of great storytellers out there, and I guarantee you, whoever wins that, doesn't matter in my opinion. It's going to be a hell of a match because it's going to be telling the story from the beginning of the bell all the way to the end. And you're going to see Dustin Rhodes. You're going to see Jay and Jimmy together again. Jay's going to come down and Jay's going to be involved in that match. He's got to.
Well, he's going to be involved, but it's not going to be helping the bloodline.
You don't think so?
I'll put a 50 on that.
That's ball. That's ballsy, dude.
No, I'm throwing it out there.
I'll put a 50 on you. Man, I don't know.
But I will say this. We will see one hell of a match from Roman.
Yeah. You must make a way to out of the I agree.
Make a return. Yep.
Make a return. Yeah, so it's a great, there's gonna be so many segments that's gonna be amazing. The Rhodes family gets to the bloodline has to happen. Exactly. And maybe it does happen with Rhodes having the title. Maybe then it becomes the Rhodes against the bloodline. I don't know.
So he just brought up a good point. What if Seth, some story where he's not cleared for night 1, but he's cleared for night 2, and Dustin takes his place?
Ooh, that's good.
That'd be a good story.
Yeah, I see Seth helping Roman Reigns, in my opinion, though.
I don't know, man. Now you're fishing. You're fishing in the deep end.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that is a pretty deep hook to throw.
That's like me saying Dustin's going to come out and tag team with his brother, but I mean, it's just something we would like to see because it's family against family.
Absolutely. Man, I don't know, man.
But we got a couple of weeks.
Got a couple of weeks. What is 3 weeks away? I think.
Yeah, man. It's almost April.
3 weeks away. So Dustin must join Cody if he needs to retirement. Yeah. Dr. Red, your final thoughts. Does Seth Rollins lose the title? These are rapid fire questions, man. Need your answers. Rico, does Seth Rollins lose the title?
Yes.
Yes, I agree. He does. Does Gunther retain or does he lose?
Gunther loses.
Jake Paul, lose or win?
Or Jake or Logan? Which one?
Logan Paul. Sorry, Logan Paul.
Unfortunately, he's going to win.
Okay. Titles. Does Judgment Day get brought up? Does Judgment Day get broke up? Do they lose?
I don't think they get broke up, but they could possibly lose. Because I'm seeing it where Rhea is going to be the only one with the title.
Yeah.
That's where they can break up.
Dr. Red says Logan Paul retains. Gunther loses in the short term. Seth loses. Where does Senior Money in the Bank cash in?
Gunther.
I say Seth Rollins loses to Drew McIntyre. Gunther loses to Sami Zayn. That's where the cash in happens, where Damian Priest comes and cashes in. I see the opposite. I see Logan Paul loses. Tag team titles. I see they got to have a big match like they're broadcasting. I see Judgment Day getting beat. Last question, Dr. Red, Reigns or Rhodes? Who wins it? Ooh.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
But not going to happen.
There you go. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. That's a wrap up of title days, of title shots, WWE championships. My boy Rico, he'll be on his way up to Michigan on Friday the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
You're up there for several days, right? Coming back Monday or Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Where's my folder? This week coming up, we have Friday Sports Talk on with my brother, the MATT. We will be talking football, NFL football,
Ooh,
NFL
yes, because
Combine.
there's a lot of moves that just happened.
Yeah, and you still want me to send you a link for that just in case?
Yes.
Cody wins if Dustin shows up. Otherwise, Roman retains. So I want to touch on that real quick. Do you really think that Dustin has to show up? Honestly.
I don't think he has to. No, I don't think he has to. But I just think it would add more to the family.
Okay. So then Friday we have that football day, football Friday afternoon. Friday night we have from WXW Julio the Cure Vertigo Rivera. Dr. Red knows that guy. They're from WXW. Anybody doesn't know what promotion WXW is, it is Alpha's promotion, Noel Simone. He due to health, he closed the doors, but out of the gracious of his heart and through Julio Rivera, we are able to cover WXW, go through the roster, watch some old video footage of them. That's Friday night. From FWE, Florida Wrestling Entertainment, we have Tyler Nimmons coming on Saturday night. James Creed on the 17th. A wrestler from Mid-States called Jason. And we have FWE Bison Glutch coming up the 19th. And so there's a lot of interviews coming up our way. Again, I appreciate everybody. I think Huge Pop's going to do a remodel in his office here to put some other stuff up. But that's all that's happening on this side. Again, thank you, Rico, for coming on another Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast with Pop's World Order.
Well, definitely.
Off of Popson's class act. Yeah, man. I'm grateful that he's allowing us, and he's agreed to allow us to interview you guys from his roster. He is a class act. He's done so much for the business of wrestling. So, yes, very legendary. So, I will say this. Thank you again, Rico. You're my brother. I love you. I wish you well this week at work. Safe travels going to see your grandbabies on Friday.
Yes.
Excited for that. Dr. Red, where you at? Can't wait to continue talking to you. Join us on Friday night, Dr. Red, as we interview Julio Rivera. So I appreciate everybody. This has been Pop's World Order, Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, and I appreciate you guys. And we're out.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then you had to knock out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then you had to knock out. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army. They got the tanks and everything. He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled. Cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle. 6 sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know it's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know it's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground.